Fans, well, welcome to Friday Night Live. What you listening to? Thanks for tuning in. Got a fucking kid's birthday party going on, so you get two for one.
We can hear it now.
It's loud, right? What are they doing in there? Yeah. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Ian's here. Ian's back. Chris is back. Good to see you, fellas. Bobb's somewhere in his massive house, trying to get back to the room.
His house isn't that big. He can't get too far.
He'll find his way back. I think he's gonna get some beer, right? Let's
I'd rather
do
look
it.
at
Hey, there he is. We're live now, Bob.
We get a mouse in the house.
All right. We're live, by the way, Bob. We're live.
Oh, yeah, we got a mouse in the house. I just had
a mouse.
It just scurried across. Yeah, it's just invasive.
You get him?
No, he didn't get him, but it's in a spot of the house that he shouldn't be. So it's not gonna be good for him. No, it's one thing when they get downstairs, but when it's up in like the living quarters, it's a little unnecessary.
Right.
Sick the dog on him.
No, you don't
Nobody wants that on a Friday.
No.
All right.
Anyways.
So,
good evening.
Let's do the housekeeping.
Yeah. I just burn my eyes with peppermint.
Like what? It's a weird font tonight. What's going on?
It's like the Aussie, like from Volume 4.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where that font came from. There you go. No, let's see if anyone's in the chat. Hey, there we go. Thanks for tuning in. It's going to be a good show. Don't be shy. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you're feeling in the comments. Correct our mistakes. It's always good to hear from everyone in the chat. Everyone ready? Should we get going?
Let's do it.
Hey, Vincent's here. Vincent's always the first. Always the first in the chat. Hey, there you go. Cheers. Wee, Andrew Orlando's here. There you go. Hey.
Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
All right.
Vincent Pellegrino.
Let's get rid of that.
It's a fake name.
All right. As always, we've got 5 or more records each we've been listening to. We're going to have a good time. Talking about, I'm really intrigued by what everyone's picked out for tonight. Can't wait to get to it. So let's get going. My first pick, I've got a record that CC told me he hates. So I thought I'd start with that. And I'm hoping everyone else here hates it as much as he does. It's Boston band.
No, if he hates it, it's probably awesome.
There you go. It came out last year on Relapse Records. They're a Boston band. I know. I like this record. I kind of was listening to a bit on the YouTubes at the end of last year. And I was like, shall I get the album? And I was like, talking to C, says, oh man, that record sucks. I went out and bought it. So there you go. And anyone guess what it is?
Oh, I'm terrified.
It's from Boston. And they used to be on, they had a single out on Triple B before. Now they're on Relapse.
I wouldn't know it then. Yeah.
Now they're on Relapse.
Relapse.
Yeah, they got signed to Relapse. They're in the big leagues now.
Yeah. That, we can all be honest here, right?
Be honest. Final Gasp, right? From this.
I haven't heard it yet.
Morning Moon. I haven't heard their singles, which people have told me sound more like Sam Hain. I don't know.
Well, that's what they're kind of going for. So do you like it?
Well, I haven't heard the singles. I like this record. Yeah, I do. It took me a while. I bought it after listening to it a bit on YouTube. I know. It
took you a while. Hey, they ain't really selling it. Took you a while.
Yeah, it took me. Yeah. I know.
I'll give them this. They're a good live band.
Oh yeah.
I'd never listened to the record.
So CC was like his main thing. His main gripe was like the production and stuff, right? Because he's a production guy, right? So he's like, he's a real, like, he's got good ears for the production things. He's like, so he was like, auto tune on the vocals and blah 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 blah. And I was like, well, I can't hear any of that because I'm an idiot. So, but he could hear all the like the production things that he didn't like about this record. But I don't know. It's death rock mixed with that. We were talking about Tommy Victor before the show, right? It does have a little bit of that, like Tommy Victor, like guitar stuff going on it. So it's like, I don't know, death rock with a bit of like prong metal thrown in there. I'm really getting people excited about it now, aren't I? So yeah.
No, I've got a confession. I've seen their name on 1,000 great shows, and they seem like they're in like all the right circles. But I don't know if I'm always just late to the. I've never seen them live.
Yeah,
You go to every show. I know you saw them. You've seen my accident.
I don't know if I've ever gotten there on time. But I see them on great shows all the time with great bands, and I go to the fucking show, but I don't know if I've ever actually gotten a chance to see them, and I've been intrigued. So maybe
I've seen them a bunch of times, and like I give them that. Like I'm none that I've ever listened to, but I give them a credit. They're pretty good live.
So they Relapse are kind of playing up like the hardcore side of this record. So it's like, it's okay. So it's like death rock, but like done like hardcore punk style kind of thing, which I can kind of see that. It's a little bit more aggressive than your normal like death rock. I don't know if you like things like Unto Others, In Solitude, but add in some kind of more like hardcore feel to it. We're kind of getting there. I don't know. It's pretty catchy. You know what the band it reminds me of the most? It's that band Dance Macabre from Osaka. The old Osaka band, like who were also going for like a Samhain thing, like in the late 80s, like early 90s. Kind of sounds a bit like that to me. Yeah. So, I don't know.
I don't like the cover art. It looks like a Mastodon record. I don't like it.
Who did the artwork? Let's get him on.
Oh man, I hope that guy never hears it. I better not go to a show. He'd beat the pummel with a nightstand.
Like we were talking about the production and everything. Do you know who produced this? It's Arthur Rizek produced it.
Oh, that's getting us some treads in water. You can't be crapping on that. Record's awesome. Perfect.
Yeah, I know. So that's my first pick. I guess like
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, this is the kind of band you'd expect to have like Roy Orbison on vocals, like Roy Elvis, that kind of style. But
like when Danzig tries to sing like Roy Orbison.
Yeah, like that. You kind of expecting that, and you don't get that. You kind of get like more of a hardcore kind of vocalist. So I guess that's pretty interesting. But yeah, that's my first pick. Final Gasp from Boston.
You really came out the gate with a doozy.
There you go.
I'm gonna have to regroup.
Morning Moon, spelt as you would expect it to be spelt on a record of this ilk. 2003. Check it out, all you gothics, you goths out there. Check out Final Gasp. There you go. That's my first pick. All right, Ian, what you got?
All right.
It's not the SSD repress.
I'm going to do 5 separate colors, but be patient.
Can you review each one by the sound quality?
Yeah, you
per color.
My first pick
what's that?
is a band from Los Angeles called Early Moods.
Nice.
Can you see that? I'd never heard these guys until I just saw them open with they played with Coven and Lucifer here in Boston. I went to the show, and these guys are fucking amazing. I mean, it's absolute total pentagram worship. And they're from LA, which is my stomping grounds, my neck of the woods, basically where I'm from. And I got to talking to these guys when I bought the record after the show, and it was super cool. They turns out the first show they ever played was at a backyard barbecue in Bakersfield, where I'm from. My buddy Hector set up the show, so they're like familia. Super cool. But yeah, this record, it's really, really good. If you're a fan of Pentagram, Doom metal, that style, this is really, really good. Cool green vinyl.
The dude with the afro looks like Fletch when he's in the Lakers uniform.
Yeah, they even did a song with Lucifer at the show. They did a Pentagram cover, which was really good. They have a new album coming out I just saw, and they're getting ready to tour. So if they come in your town, you should check them out. I don't imagine this is really that hard to find, but it's really good. Really good.
Riding Easy, that's the label that butchered the Randy Holden record.
Yeah, they put out all those brown acid comps.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
Riding Easy.
I was gonna say to anybody who's like scared of like riding easy record on that whole like like stoner rock kind of thing, don't be afraid of that record. That's actually a really really good record. I bought it too when it came out. They're like one of the best in the game for like that retro like hard rock. Good band.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's
out,
nice to make it in time to the show to see the opening band and get to really like them, and that's what the case was with them, and it's super cool because they're close to where I'm from. Early Moves, that's my first pick.
I'll check it out.
They're a good band. Their first record's good too, like the album before that, 12-inch.
Yeah, I haven't heard it. I'd love to grab a copy.
What year is that from? Is it the 12-inch? How, like, what year is that from? The 12-inch, the one before that?
Like just like the year before, a couple of years before, maybe something like that. Yeah, not that long ago. Yeah, that's not on Riding Easy, if I remember correctly. It's on a different label, I think.
This one's 2022. I don't know if the guys are fairly young in the band, so I mean, it can't have been maybe 2020, something like that.
I think we all know that like it's a bit of a minefield, right? Like the retro rock and the stoner, but like that's a really good band.
I love that shit. That's a good band.
Yeah. Can you hear that? Fucking kids, man.
I'm ready to sing along. Give us the cue.
All right.
It's like when you practice in a rehearsal space and the band next door to you is playing like Fugazi or Sublime or like some bad like in Pixies cover song.
Well, I can never forget the time that we heard a band that we thought sounded like ENT. And we went and opened the door to say like, "Hey, you guys kick ass!" And then we saw it was Bill Toxic. They busted into a ska part in the middle of like this like, heavy like thrasher, and we were just like, "See you later."
I wonder if Bill Toxic's next door now. I
don't
know who Bill Toxic is. All right, Chris, what's your first pick?
All right, my first one. I just like to say that I haven't bought any records of new bands in a while, so all my things tonight are reissues. But this one.
All
right, so I got this LP from my friend. It's called Sonido Tumi, and it's volume 2 of. It's like a bootleg, kind of in the Kill by Death, like Nuggets vein, and it's all Peruvian cumbia music from the late 60s to 70s.
Check it out.
And so the first one was, it's all 45s and maybe some cassettes. The first one was pretty straightforward. This one is a little more, they picked a lot of bands that have like heavy organ and like a little more like kind of garage psych type sound to it. And it's music that I'm not super familiar with, but a friend of mine who's really into this stuff used to play a lot of this for me. And like, these records are virtually impossible to find in general, so it's kind of cool. And the record doesn't have a track list on it, so you're kind of just like listening to it as a whole. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's a different way of taking it in because you don't immediately go online and like look up the band, and so it's a little more interesting that way. And it's got kind of elements of like 60s garage rock and some kind of like 70s psych elements to it, but it's pretty straightforward, like kind of dancey Latin music, but it's all very cool.
Cover again, Cooch. Hold it up.
What's that?
Hold it up. I like the cover. It's nice.
It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's kind of based off of these Mexican, I don't know what they call them. They're like kind of these like showcase LPs of like Mexican bands. But yeah, it's just cool. It's like something I never really had heard much of before, so it was an interesting sort of gateway into some cool music that I'd never heard before. So.
That looks familiar to me. Did you post that online for the store or?
Yeah, I had them on Instagram the other day for the store.
Okay. So, what? That's volume 2, right, Chris?
Yeah. So there's a volume 1 that has a red cover.
I want to say that like when Paco from La Vida es un Mus was on here, he showed like volume 1 of that, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And he's like this is the record I've been listening to like the most for the past month. He can't get enough of it. So
yeah, most of it's instrumental, so it's kind of just like, easy to digest background music.
Is it just the screen printing on the cover? Is there anything on the back or?
Yeah, the back's blank.
Oh, it is.
And like,
It's like an old, like it's almost like a Killed by Death, like boom.
yeah, plain labels on the record.
Okay, it was Mateo. It was Mateo who showed Volume 1. There you go. All right. Beautiful. Can you get these? Are they out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget. I got them from a store in the Midwest for just, I got like half a dozen copies of it just to sell at the shop. So
yeah,
but
I kind of
they're around. I think the last one that was made was like distributed by Mississippi. So not too
okay.
Original stuff like that's so hard to get. Like, I mean, I love the stuff on Fania and like Codiscos, but man, to find stuff that isn't like peeled out on or looks like somebody like literally like cleaned it with like sandpaper, it's like amazing. I wish they did a better job of reissuing that stuff. But, I mean, they could.
It's the same thing with like that. The record I had the last time, that was like the Peruvian like post punk and like electronic bands.
I got that. I found it. It's great. I got it. I found it.
That was really cool, and I'd love to hear more of that.
Yeah,
but I just don't know how to get it. So.
We were talking about Piggott earlier. Does he still do that label where he's reissuing all that Latin stuff?
No, that petered out a long time ago. I think he had like a falling out with the distributor, and that kind of sank it.
Yeah.
What's his name from the Talking Heads has a label, right? And didn't he do like at least one, like it's called like World Psychedelic Classics or something? It's got the big afro on the front.
Oh, I don't know.
It's quite kind of a well-known one. It's a good compilation, but he couldn't help himself, and like he put a track by his own band on there.
Oh,
he's that guy, It's like,
that's like when Fat Day made the fake volume of Killed by Death. That was pretty funny, and they just recorded all the music themselves and made a different band name for each track.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Wow.
I think the cat got let out of the bag pretty quick. And
that's cool, because we definitely had Volume 1 on the show, and I think it was Paco that showed it. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and this one just came out within the last week or two. So.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. All right, Bob, what's your...
Oh, my turn.
Your turn.
I'll do the new thing first. And it's this record, Lupo. Can you see it? Oh, yeah, there it is.
There you go.
Lupo Sita. I don't know how you say it.
Come on, you're Italian.
Yeah, barely. What Polish? But anyways, it's got Chris Brokaw from Codeine and like Cum and solo stuff, GG and whatever. But I don't know the couple ladies in the band. I don't know who they are, but it's probably one of the best records. I don't buy much new stuff, but I'm an indie guy. So as far as indie music goes, it's really good. Like if you're a fan of Codeine, Cum, any 90s indie, Polvo, guitar kind of stuff, then I mean, you can't go wrong. I highly recommend it. It's front to back. It's great. So it's on that 1-2XU Records, which I didn't realize. Did you know? So I kind of tend to ramble, but
ramble as much as you want.
That they did. You know that first Tommy Keene LP?
Yeah.
Minicucci that I don't know, like in 2012 did like a small run of them. It's just a weird thing to like randomly reissue and then like poof, it's gone.
Yeah, Chris Brokaw actually traded in like a whole ton of their label stuff to the store a while back. There was some pretty cool records in there.
Yeah, they get some good stuff. They've reissued a few because it's is it Gerard Cosley? Does he have something to do with it? No, that's
Matador.
Oh, what the hell? There's somebody has something to do with this, right? One of those jabronis.
I don't know who runs the label.
But anyways, I recommend if you like indie music. If you don't like it, you can yell at me and whatever. But
Bob, they're playing a show in a couple weeks.
What's that?
They're playing a show in the end of February, I think.
Yeah.
ICU was supposed to play, but band's going on vacation, so we had to bail.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a random show. Where was that?
It's at the Cambridge Community Center.
Oh, yeah? Kind of sounds like it was like an old school 90s, like Get High, like random band kind of lineup.
Yeah, it's like a shred extravaganza.
Anyways, but yeah, I don't know if you guys are into that stuff, but it comes another band. If anybody's listening here and watching, that all they listen to is like hardcore and have never heard anything otherwise, I highly say check it out.
Yeah, man. That first like Come LP is amazing, right? The first one.
Yeah, those are great records.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the Thalia Zedek's never made a bad note of music in her life. Never will. Even the solo stuff. So that's my 2 cents. I'm trying
Is
to push
that like a young new band, Bob?
What's that?
Is that like a younger, newer band that you?
Oh yeah, this is brand new. This record actually just came out I think a couple weeks ago.
Oh damn! All right.
I never buy anything new, and I streamed it. I mean, I also take drum lessons from Brokaw, so I mean that probably has something to do with it. But anyways, the thing smokes. Like you can't deny it. You want me to just keep flailing it around like this?
Hey, no, but how do you call it?
Myself.
What's it called again? Lupo what?
Lupo Cheetah.
Cita.
Lupo Cita.
No, Cheetah.
Lupo Cheetah.
Lupo
It
Cheetah.
means Wolf City, but they have the words backwards.
Right? Yeah. Nice.
It's
Nice.
not like proper Italian.
Totally butchered it. Anyway, that's the new one. That's all I got to add.
That's beautiful, man. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just the Super Chunk. Do they count as like indie?
They do, but
Everybody likes Super Chunk.
They're kind of funky.
Those first two records are good. Then they stink. They've stunk longer than they've been good. I mean, the guy puts out cool. I mean, I give him credit. He's had Merge going forever, and thank God he reissued some stuff. Teenage Funny, but man, stop your band. Put an end to it. It's like Guided by Voices. You just made me say Guided by Voices. Now I'm aggravated.
Sorry. It's funny though because that was a band that I hated for decades, and then like one day I liked them, and but you're kind of right. I mean, I know Ian. A lot of people on the show like celebrate like the entire catalog of Superchunk. They've got a lot of records there. It's like
no, those people. Bob doesn't like anything. So
what's that?
Bob doesn't like anything. So I'm just.
I like a lot. I love everything. Being honest, man, I like that band. They just been stinkeroo for like forever. God.
There you go.
Hi, Rachel.
There you go. My turn. It's round 2, right?
It's your turn, yeah.
Hey, you know what? Last week on the show, we were talking about like punk bands that were like formed by kids, like teenagers, like 13, 14, 15-year-old kids. Fucking like Tom, General Speech, showed this French record. I don't remember what it was called. Maybe someone who was watching last week remembers. He hasn't sent in his list from last week, so I couldn't double check what it was. But just French record made by like teenagers. So I was thinking like this Japanese band came to mind that were quite controversial when they were around, and like their stuff has just been reissued on the same label that's been doing like the Stalin and SOB and stuff. Sekiri, you know this band? They're like an old Kyoto band. They're like 4 girls that were around when they were like 13, 14, 15, like 16. They were like runaways from high school and stuff. And I'm going to show a CD cover just to lead into my pick. But this is like this comp called Taste of Wild West. I don't know if you guys know this comp. This has like SOB on it, Dance Macabre, who I was just talking about, Rapes from Osaka. The Continental Kids, the Garlic Boys, and then Sekiri, right? And like when I bought this CD when it came out, I thought Sekiri were like the fucking worst band like on this compilation. They might still be, but I've got to say their records are fucking great. And talking about indie, this kind of does border the kind of, it blurs the line between like punk and indie. This is the record I'm talking about. I don't know if you guys know this.
You know what? I've seen that thing, and people post it, and I've never heard it, didn't know what it was. The cover is awesome.
It's the band's called Sekiri. You'll be pleased to know that means dysentery. Great name for a band.
Every day.
You're familiar with dysentery? Yeah, man. This sounds so great. Like now, like to me, like a younger kid who was like into SOB and like, you know, all the hardcore. I didn't like Sekiri, but now as like a full-grown man, it's like, man, this is fucking great. It's like teenage girls doing like kind of garagey, trashy, like really like simplistic like punk rock, but it's great, man. It's fucking great. And they have a bunch of records out. This is their first LP. It's just been reissued. It's called Take Me to Sekiri by Sekiri. They toured the States and they recorded with Butch Vig, right? After this, his like studios. Yeah. Like in like 1992, like after this, they recorded like their third LP, I think. Like Smart Studios with Butch Vig.
Oh, I gotta hear this stuff.
But this is like really raw. It's great, man. I was surprised at how different my 56-year-old ears are to like my 30-year-old ears, because I hated this band like in 1990, but now this is a good band, you know. Very controversial. It was like 13, 14, 15-year-old girls talking about like drugs and sex and violence in Japan. A lot of their songs were banned on the radio. You couldn't hear them.
They're harder than the Runaways, for crying out loud. That's like some straight up like thug stuff.
It really is. And they were in gangs and stuff. And this is great, man. I've got to get all the others as well after this, now that I'm kind of into this one.
So, Mike, when you went back and re-listened to the song on that CD comp, do you like it now? Or
Yeah. It's just a weird fit, because it's like all these hardcore bands, and you get this like trashy, like kind of indie, garagey, like kind of band, and it kind of doesn't really fit too well on that comp. But as a standalone, it's great.
Fair enough. Yeah, I know.
And it's on P-Vine, man. Like Tom gets all the P-Vine stuff. It's on P-Vine Records. It's not that it shouldn't be hard to get. It shouldn't be super expensive either. So,
oh, cool. Yeah, we get some of the P-Vine stuff over here. It's hard to get, but we can get it sometimes.
Apparently, they're like a huge major label, but Tom was saying they're super accessible. They're super friendly. They're really helpful. Very easy to deal with. So, if you want to kind of try and deal with P-Vine,
they're one of those labels though that they've got. Like I noticed it with some of that like soul stuff that they reissue in funk, where it sounds like it's actually like they're ripping it from like a vinyl. Like, I mean, they do a good job of it, but you can tell, which is fine.
I mean, they've been around since like 1975 or something. This label P-Vine.
They do that like that Smoke LP.
Oh yeah, Smoke. Yeah.
Yeah,
but I think their original thing was just kind of when they started, wasn't it mostly blues that they were kind of like reissuing?
That's right. They've done blues. Yeah. They've done big names, right? All like this, as you said, like the soul stuff. They've done hip hop. They've done punk. They've done all sorts of stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting label.
Yeah, they do it good. I mean, the product's awesome. I mean,
it's real nice,
sleeve, man. Obi slips, nice. Yeah, sleeve, Obi strips.
I like this too. It's like, this is pretty cool. I don't know. Like,
yeah, they do a nice job. Yeah, you nice get what you pay for sure.
Yeah. Check out Sekiri, man. Like, it's like just cool stuff, man. Like just garagey.
While you're, can I interrupt you?
Go ahead, man.
While you're onto like that, because it kind of fits. Like I like a lot of band. Like I've always been fascinated with that PSF label, like White Heaven and all those things. It's kind of cool that that Black Editions label's been reissuing a bunch of that stuff, especially like the High Rise stuff.
High Rise stuff is kind of tough to get, right?
Yeah. But anyways, that was just random. It had nothing to do with it. It just made me think of it. Oh, that's what it was, because they reissued, and of course, can't remember it. Oh, damn. You know what? Never mind. It might come to me by the end, and I'll bring it randomly.
Raise your hand if you.
Yeah, I'll raise it. Maybe.
All right. Ian, what's your second pick?
SSD on white.
I'm going to save that for the end. Gold. We're going to do gold. I'm glad you guys are talking indie music, because it's a perfect segue to my second pick.
Oh, that's a
profile.
Oh, man, I would be proud.
This is obviously, I'm sure most people are familiar with it. A hardcore band recorded 2000, I think this is when this record was recorded. The vocals maybe, I think, were 2010, 10 years later, something like that. But it's the guys from Infest, No Comment. Really, really good hardcore. It's a great record. And the reason I chose this one is because, I mean, obviously, I'm friends with these guys. I love the band, but I remember when this came out, a lot of people were like super bummed on the LP. They loved the 7-inch that came out, but for whatever reason, people seem to think that this was like inferior, which I never understood that opinion, because it's literally the same recording session as the 7-inch, except for the vocals, and the songs are all originally written the same time, recorded the same time. I think it's great, entirely great. I kind of wish they would do more. I know that they have like 50 more fucking songs that are unreleased. But if you know Matt, it'll never see the the light of day, unfortunately, because I'm sure they're great. And I also brought out the 7-inch. I know this is cheating, but the 7-inch is great. But the LP is also just as equally good, and I wanted to give it its due respect. I never got to see them live. I don't know if anyone here did. They only ever did 2 shows, I think, both in California. I lived there at the time, but I was stupid and skipped them because they were supposed to play Chaos and Tejas that year, which I was going to. And then the band kind of fell apart for a while, and they never played that show, so I never got to see them live, but I wish I had. Low Threat Profile.
It's a great cover. I get the cover on that's great. I love the art on that.
It's good, right?
What kind of sleeve is that in? It's been crinkling. It's driving me insane. Is that like one of those like Mylar sleeves?
Yeah, it is.
Every time you move it, it crinkles. And I'm literally.
Let's make a whole itself for you.
Low crinkle profile.
Low crinkle profile. Like crinkle profile, but yeah. 50
hang on a minute. I got to get this straight. So, hang on. This is Infest with a different vocalist. What's going on with this band? Like who is?
It's Matt from Infest.
Okay.
Writes all the songs with Bobb from Lack of Interest, who
Okay.
was also in Infest. Andy Beatty from No Comment did the vocals on this.
He's Scottish, right? Is that correct?
He's a maniac.
So.
No? Okay. Well, I don't know where that came from.
He's a maniac. No, I don't know. No, he's I think he's just from California. I think
Wasn't he in that band like Shank? Am I getting
No, that's a different Andy.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Andrew Beatty, No Comment.
Yeah, he was in that band, Almost Blockades.
Okay, that's it.
I forget his last name.
Nolan. Andrew Nolan, is that who you're thinking of?
I don't remember.
Anyways, no different.
Andy from Scotland.
Yeah, no, this Andrew I think is just from LA, but he was in No Comment. What do you do? Dead Language was a band he did with the
Jensen.
Iron Lung guys. Yeah. But no, his vocals are fantastic. No Comment.
He was in Man of the Bastard too.
Man is a Bastard, that's right. Yeah, he did. He sang for Man is a Bastard too. Great hardcore vocalist, power violence.
No comment. I don't know why I thought he was Scottish. I don't know where that came from. I remember when that record came out. Did it get like a little bit overlooked when it came out? Is that correct?
I think the 12-inch did. The 7-inch seemed to have a little steam behind it, and then when the LP came out, I think people were just kind of like not into it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's people seem to think it was like I don't know, less than the 7-inch, but I thought it was just as great personally.
Who did the vocals on the 7-inch?
What's that?
Who did the vocals on the 7-inch?
Andy did. So the 7-inch is the same guys, but the entire session was recorded in 2000.
Oh, okay.
The LP, the vocals were recorded in 2010, but the
so
songs,
they were just, I got you.
Yeah, the music was recorded the same time as the 7-inch, so it's all, it's just later vocals, and I don't know. Andy still sounds great. They had a third 7-inch. Andy, I think Matt just did the vocals on that one. He did. Andy left the band, and no, they've got like 50 songs that are like missing. They had a couple guest vocalists do some songs, which would be super cool if they ever, came out, because I think people would appreciate it. I know I would.
Never see the light of day, just like an Infest reissue will never see the light of day.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. But anyways, I just wanted to give them a little
nice one.
Well, I like that one.
Yeah, that's one I haven't seen talked about for quite a while, for sure.
Next.
Yes, next, Chris.
All right, my next pick is from north of the border, and this one also goes out to Bobb. It's the reissue of Scam LP, which never
what
came
label
out.
is that on?
It's on Puke and Vomit in California.
That's all my shirts.
Unfortunately, but so these guys we were talking about them earlier off camera when offline when Bob was talking about T-shirts. The guy prints shirts for us sometimes, singer.
Okay.
But they have a 7-inch that's from I think like '85 on Action Records, and it's got that kind of weirdo like United Mutation, Malefice vibe to it. That's it's a little out there. The vocals are like really gruff, like the record, and definitely some like weirdo, freaky outlier stuff for that time period. But they recorded this LP, not sure when, like maybe later '80s, and it sat in the can for like a really long time. And then this guy Mike that Bob and I know put it out on CD in the 2000s, and it was supposed to come out on vinyl like 15 years ago on that 16OH label. And I had a test press of it forever, and for whatever reason, it just like fell through. And I was actually trying to get in contact with them about putting it out, and then this one came out. So it's cool to see that it's out, but this one's even got a little more sort of darker, twisted sound to it. It almost has this sort of proto black metalish sound to it that is, obviously not intentional, but if you listen to it with, not, sort of open ears, not thinking to pigeonhole it in one category or another, it does kind of have this weird sort of proto metalish sound to it that is pretty interesting. But, it's like really fucking unhinged vocals and like sort of psyched out sound for like a hardcore band. And it's pretty, I think it's pretty out there and like ahead of its time for an American hardcore band of the '80s. And it's probably, it's like a sound that I think a lot of, bands now would kind of ape, where you can look back and be like, oh, I want to have the band that's like the weirdo hardcore band with the weirdo metal influences. And
that was a reissue that was botched right out of the gate, though. Like it should have been done right, like originally, and it just got like.
Yeah, I don't know why they never put it out originally. If they didn't have a label or what the deal was, I'm surprised. Like Action wouldn't have put it out, like Charlie back in the '80s or whenever it was recorded.
But it seems like the band alone kind of botched the whole like getting that reissued too. It just even when it first started.
I think there was some when the kid did the test press on the first run. I think there was some like beef over the artwork, and I think maybe Eric had come up with some like artwork that was kind of zany looking, and they didn't want to use it. But I think I actually have an original '80s T-shirt like of this drawing.
Yeah.
So I think they just scanned the T-shirt and made a cover out of it, and it actually looks pretty decent this way. So
when did that one come out?
I think it's from like last year or the year before.
Yeah. Jeez.
But it seemed to kind of come and go quick. Like I don't think a lot of people saw it, or knew it was out, caught on to it.
Yeah. Was he actually, just out of curiosity, because that 7-inch is cool. It's like, what's like just out of what does that go? Is that something I can still get for like $10 if I see it?
I feel like it got kind of a weird little bump in popularity, and it started going for money for a while. So it might have been like $40 or $50. I don't know if it's more or less or what.
Unacceptable for that $50.
In my mind, it's like an $8 or $10 record.
Yeah, exactly. Forever it should be.
Cooch will sell you that one for $12 though.
Right.
Yeah, it's a small world. Like to know the guy in that band. Like when we used to live in New Hampshire, and my daughter, her friend, mom was Eric's the singer's like brother. So it's just one of those weird things, like just regular life, being like a dad somewhere, and then all of a sudden, hey, I get that that's your brother. That's weird because he's in this weird band. Didn't know any bands like that.
Now he owns a screen printing shop and has done T-shirts for us and stuff, posters.
Yeah. So, Bob, are you a big fan of that band? Big Scam fan?
That 7-inch is like stuff like that is awesome. It's the same reason like I love United Mutation, because it just doesn't sound like anything of that at that time. But all right,
Bob.
Oh, my turn. Okay.
Round two.
Yeah.
Well, round two, I could pretty much like
Love gun.
it's just kind of like a companion piece kind of thing that it may just be like I might just shoot my whole shot here. I just let me grab this.
Hold on.
So see, it's very important. So I'm down this blood rock hole. So bear with me. And since I was trying to do the rule of 5 LPs, I left out the Lee Pickens group and the James Rutledge LP. because Blood Rock, after those guys and Nitziger and guys leave the band, is elevator music. So,
Question: Can I help? Do you like the Nitziger LPs?
Well, I'm going to get to that because
all right.
This is
let's go.
Very important.
I'm excited. Okay,
that's the first Blood Rock record.
Yes.
Which I played this for you the other night, Ian, and you said you were into it.
I was.
Now, this is a great record. This is
new to me.
Great record cover. Should not be a dollar bin record. This is, as far as I'm concerned, Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, Nazareth level. Well, I forget about Nazareth, but the only beef I got.
I want to find that in the dollar bin.
Is organ. If you like hard rock in the 70s, you're gonna get that dated organ. But if you go, it dates everything. But needless to say, banger. And then Blood Rock 2 is that's another dollar bin record. But forgive me, I'm just gonna ramble on.
So I'm excited. I love Blood Rock.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad had the DOA 7-inch because it was like
that was a little bit of a hit, right, in the States.
Yeah, it was a hit, and then it got pulled. It was like controversial because of the sirens, people pulling it. Bullshit. Nobody was pulling their cars over for the sirens or whatever. But it was a long song for, a radio song to be played on whatever. Yeah, Dirty Dave. What was it? It used to be Iron Skulls, right? Like one time it was cool, Iron Skulls, and then went to Dirty Dave. Sorry, Dave. Long story short, great record too. Like good songs on it. Again, the great band. So, and then I had to stop at 3. This is the 3. Great record cover. Just take that.
I want that share.
That's as American as you can get.
Bob, that might be my favorite of the first 3.
Well, what's on it? Breach of Lease is a great song. Like 9 minutes of just heavy.
That riff on that song is one of the best of all time.
Whiskey Vent Jessica is a great song. I mean, it's a great record.
And that Melvin Laid an Egg? That's on that?
Melvin Laid an Egg's on it, yeah. Hey, look at this. Is anybody baller like me? Look what I do. I can show us. See how you slide that sleeve off? Now look at this. See, there's another sleeve on top of it to protect it. Look at that. I roll it. Take a razor and I cut off the other one.
Low crinkle.
Not glossy enough.
Sorry, you lost me. I lost everybody. Sorry. Let me just slide this back in for you. I was going to take out the picture.
Back.
What's that?
What's the sticker on the back?
Oh, I get like the nice one. Look at that. It tells me that I got a poster, like an 8x11, like 12 in there. Those guys.
Oh wow!
Hey, actually, if we got the time, let me just take that out. We'll just show everybody. Nobody's going. Look at this. No, tell me that ain't 70s.
There you go.
Yeah. Cool looking band. Cooler looking than Deep Purple ever was. Where did that go? We'll just put that aside. Okay, so this gets me to the 2 Nitziger LPs.
Fuck. Yes.
I would have brought the third one up too. The third one's equally as good. But
live electricity something. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, live better electrically.
That's it.
I can't do this right. Can you see this? Whatever. It's all. They're just blank. They're cool. They're textured covers. They're gatefold. Right. I'll even pull. One of these got a cool picture. So now, hold on a second. Yes, I think that's 70s all the way.
Yeah.
Now, why these are important is because one, Blood Rock is awesome. Shouldn't be dollar bin. Nitziger equally is awesome because he basically was a ghostwriter for Blood Rock.
Right. That's it.
I think he played solos on some of the songs, but for the most part, he wrote like a ton of their songs. And then he puts out these amazing records that nobody cared about. But why I find these Nitziger records significant is the drummer is a girl.
Yeah,
she's awesome, and she's so like that's a 70s Texas and a girl playing in a hard rock band. Like how that's rare. That like give me a band in the 70s that had a real drummer playing Sabbath kind of stuff.
There's a song on, I forget which, it's either it's a black one, I think. That song, A Witness to the Truth.
Oh, that's on...
that song is like fucking like up there with one of the best songs of the 70s.
It's on the black one.
It's on the black one, right?
Yeah. Earth Eater and Motherload and yeah. I mean, these records are just, again, you find them in a store, they're like $5. You know, the record nerds haven't like smoked them out yet. I
think the thing with Blood Rock was because they were on Capitol, right? And I think they were like the like the junior, like Grand Funk kind of thing, maybe at the time. But
well, they were produced by like Terry Knight.
Right.
Yeah. So, but that's my I've been on a like super like kick on him later. But yeah, I left out the Lee Pickens LP, which is kind of cool because he was Blood Rock's guitarist, and cool record cover with him in like a tassel like suede jacket, like looking all nice. And then the James Rutledge LP, he had a solo record because he was the drummer, and then they moved him to vocals in Blood Rock, but he cut it a little too boogie woogie. Like there's a point where some rock gets a little too rootsy.
There's a little bit of that in there, right? But they're great records, absolutely great records. That's
all I got. So that's it. Any questions, answers? I'm going to get some more records. I got some downstairs. I need another beer anyway.
If you get any of that shit in your dollar bins, Cooch, let me know.
I will. Yeah, I think we probably have some of those LPs in the store.
No, don't sell them.
Bob just showed me that.
Sell none of those to him.
It's good shit.
I'm actually tempted to go. And I won't. There's the live LP is good too, right? They all these got like Japanese pressings. They're all on like red vinyl, like 70s, like blood red vinyl. All the Blood Rock stuff. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the live record's good too. Actually, yeah. And then they get like weird, like elevator music. It's terrible. It's worse than like Wishbone Ash got like after their And
it drops off pretty quick. Yeah.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Is there a Japanese? Isn't there like a red vinyl of the red Grand Funk LP?
There is, yeah. I think like Capital, like we're doing like all the 70s red vinyl in Japan. Yeah,
yeah.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. Where's he gone? Bob, was that seriously like all the record that you done?
Well, see, you told me to only bring 5, so I just they were all companion pieces. I got a couple more I can go grab, but I hope he's going to grab me a beer. I don't know where he went. But I'm a little light. Well,
I'm going to change my order because Chris mentioned Action Records.
If you pull out a Psycho record, I'm logging off.
Hopefully it's Donkulator.
Oh, that's even worse. Donkulator.
I actually already had this before Action Records was mentioned because like we were talking about I Hate Tourists last week. Like I don't know how that came up, but I think it was like early punk songs with like really bad lyrics. I can't remember what the lyrics are to that song, but anyway, it made me pull out this Freeze record that I hadn't played for a while. The Freeze. Right, I'm talking about the Freeze. There you go.
Okay. If it's what I hope it is, because if it's not
on Action, it's just like
all right.
This 10-inch that they did of like the Guilty Face 7-inch plus 3. Action put it out in like the 90s, I guess. And you know what? This band could be like one of my favorite like American punk hardcore bands of all time. I love the Freeze.
I agree with you on that. I was talking about this the other day because all the Exclaim bands, except for Jerry's Kids, like ruined their legacy. Just unlistenable. The Freeze, Skids, front, back, end of time, but that and then the 2 LPs right up to Rapid Reaction, like those are awesome.
They're amazing. So you got on this, you got the EP, and then you got these bonus tracks, and I'm not sure where they come from, but you get like versions of like American Town. And
that version of American Town is amazing, and
it's great, right?
Yeah. It's originally on a Newbury Comics sampler.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's where it is.
It's on Wicked Good Time Volume 2, and I always wanted to know if there was more from that session because it's so much, it's so much punkier than the LP version of it.
Right.
And it just, it's like much more tuneful and like, where they really hit it. And it kind of loses when they bring it up to hardcore speed, it kind of loses its, the hooks.
Yeah, it's real real punky.
Really good.
Like the Freeze always have like they're a hardcore band, but they're like they have like more punk in them than a lot of other hardcore bands from
absolutely.
I want to say. And that's maybe why I like them so much. The song, the Supercat, and they got the snotty vocals, like Cliffhanger's vocals. This is such a good listen. Like it's perfect. It's a 10-inch, but there's also like Trouble If You Hide is a different version too. Trouble If You Hide is a different version from Rapid Reaction. I don't know where that version comes from either. Yeah.
Worst format, by the way. 10 inches right up there with splits and picture discs. 10 inches is the most miserable.
Hey, I file this with my Psycho 10 inches, Bob. They're picture discs as well, so.
And the Poison Idea one.
And the Poison Idea one, yeah.
That one we just talked about.
Right. Just
Which of the Freeze Master tapes burnt up when Cliffhanger's shed and the shed that when he was living in caught on fire? That's where the master tapes probably.
Yeah. The Freeze, man. You know what, Bob? You're talking about like
great band.
Not like tarnishing their legacy and all that kind of stuff. I really like what's that? Misery Loves Company. That record, like
that one's good. There's one that they put out. I think
not bad, yeah.
With has like an Edward Gorey cover. And that one's really good too.
That's the one after that, right? Maybe I think
it was on Doctor Strange.
Okay,
that's the yeah. I couldn't think of the label. Yeah,
Calling all strangers.
I can't remember the name of it.
Something like that. Anyway, what a great band, man! Like the Freeze, man. Those LPs are amazing. Like I remember like getting them in the tape trading days. You'd tape trade and like someone put like the Freeze record on like the end of a tape, like a demo, a bunch of old demos, and it's like, Jesus Christ, what's this? You know, really jumps out at you.
It was funny because even up until like the late '90s, like Newbury Comics still had like massive amounts of sealed copies of the first LP.
Oh yeah, right.
And they were like $5.99 or something like that, and they were probably selling them till like at least the end of the '90s.
That's a good point. Yeah,
that's insane. Who else is on that Newbury Comics sampler? Do you remember, Chris?
It's a lot of like kind of power pop and like art punk kind of stuff.
All right,
but the one interesting band on it is there's this band called Leper from Boston, and they're sort of like people who are kind of deep in that stuff from back in the day will always kind of cite them as like the first Boston band that was playing like hardcore speed music. And they changed their name to Smegma and the Nuns. And then I think the guys in that band then later went on to be in Gangrene. Maybe they played with the Freeze too. These two brothers, Stilphin.
Oh, Stilphins, yeah. Jeez.
But yeah, that comp is like the kind of early '80s, like Boston sort of new wavy side of things. But it's got some good stuff on it. But it's one of these records you can still find around town for like $5.
Is that the one that has like a later Lepes song on it? Like
yeah,
that's yeah.
And I think it probably has like Band 19 or like one of those, like a Vinny track or something like that.
It's the one with the green cover with the smiley faces on it, right?
No, that's the first one. It's the Freeze song's on the second one.
Oh, yeah. I forget. Yeah, all right. I got you.
Yeah, it's like as I was playing, I was like, oh man, I wonder where. Like, it doesn't say it's Action Records. There's there's nothing inside. So
yeah, and I don't think the Newbury Comics record has any info on it either.
Right, but you're so right. It's like it's such a good sounding, like it's real punky, raw sounding. And,
yeah, it's just got like a really good like the tempo and the the sound of it just is so much better than like when they sped it up.
I think so too. Yeah. There you
go. Dave coming in hard with the correct November group.
There you go. That's my third pick. Great band, definitely like top 5 American punk band for me. Absolutely.
Yeah, and they were really good live. Like up until I don't know when the last time I saw them, like early 2000s, they were still really good.
Yeah, what the hell? Remember we went and saw them after the. Remember we went to see the American Hardcore. Yeah, and we got to sit next to the guy from Crackdown.
Eddie.
Nobody needs to hear that story, but Jesus Christ.
All right, Ian, what's your third pick?
BRB.
I'm waiting for that goddamn SSD record, man. Give it to me.
No battle ruins tonight. My third pick. My third pick is Master Killer.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
That's a VMP. Were you part of the VMP?
Yeah, this is the VMP reissue. This is a Master Killer's a member of Wu-Tang Clan. I've been a fan of hip hop my entire life. Wu-Tang Clan's obviously one of the best if you're a fan of the genre. Master Killer is one of the original members. He's kind of like the probably like the most unknown member, I guess.
Mm.
This is definitely the last guy to put out a solo album of the Wu-Tang, but this is a really great record. This one came out in 2004. Again, this is the reissue of it, but the original came out 2004, and it's great. It has like that raw production style that like Enter the 36 Chambers had. A lot of the guys in Wu-Tang, when they went solo, they kind of like went their own path and did their own production with everything, and a lot of their albums were really great. But this one just kind of has that raw sound. A lot of the songs were produced by the RZA, but it's a great record and it's super cool. VMP is a lot of hit or miss with them, but I think they killed it with this one. It's cool colored vinyl and
VMP, man. It's like you must have deep pockets buying them VMP records.
You mentioned
mylar sleeves.
Hang on. I gotta unstick it here. Hang on.
Crinkle, man.
Crinkle cut clown.
Let me get rid of the crinkle. It's got that nice OB strip that all the VMPs come with.
That's not an OB. That's a piece of paper.
A piece of paper. A corner wrap, right? But embossed cover, whatever. But the vinyl, colored vinyl, and everything. It's like you said earlier. You get what you pay for with this one. But yeah, it's a great record. It's a great Wu-Tang album. I think it's kind of like one of the ones that's kind of forgotten about because maybe it came out later when some of the solo, some of the second and third solo albums were coming out by guys. But no, it's really good, and it was cool to see VMP re-release it because I don't think it was super. I'd never seen it on vinyl before this reissue, but yeah, I'm glad they did it because it's Master Killer, No Said Date.
I've got it, but it's like it's a DJ, just like a plain white sleeve thing.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of great. It features songs by everyone on Wu-Tang. Every one of the members is on it. I think my favorite's probably the one with Method Man, Secret Rivals. It's a great song, but there's a lot of great stuff and.
Yeah, that one, like the Inspector Deck one, is a bit overlooked. Maybe that's a good one.
Yeah, Controllable Substance. So that's another one. I was going to mention that those two are like, obviously everybody. Liquid Swords by the Jizza, Cuban Links, Raekwon. I mean, those are the ones that you can't argue. Those are fucking fantastic. But these ones here are definitely overlooked, I think. And I've been a fan of Wu-Tang since. I was in junior high, so it was cool to finally see this reissued because I had never seen it on vinyl, and it's a good record. If you're a fan of hip hop, if you're a fan of '90s New York Wu-Tang, I definitely recommend No Said Date, Master Killer. Maybe they have a less expensive version for those with not as deep of pockets, I guess.
Did you have to subscribe to some type of series to get that?
You can buy it. I think now you can buy it.
They totally bricked. They start. I think they overpress a bunch of that stuff because you can go to that place in Somerville and get like a bunch of the VMP stuff that you're supposed to only be able to like part of a club, and you can just walk in a store and buy it.
Yeah, you got to have
Index.
Yeah.
You got to have a subscription, but they let you swap it. So I originally signed up with the hip hop, but I'll be honest, I don't listen to any of that new shit. My kid does, but I'm an old fart, so I don't. I'm looking for this. Is what I'm looking for, and it's
like a high end Columbia house.
I can't get 12 of these for a penny anymore, so I've got to. But no, I swap them out. They just started a rock and roll one, which is like Black Sabbath, some ZZ Top. They're doing some really good records now, so I don't know. That I'd make it work.
Man, we could talk for a long time about like those early Wu-Tang records and that just like string of like solo records that are just fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's funny. I remember when I first got into like both my older brothers listened to hip hop growing up. So before I even knew what punk was, I listened to hip hop. And I remember when it wasn't cool to like Wu-Tang. Like people used to fucking, you know, razz me all the time for Wu-Tang. What is that shit? You know, and now you know everybody recognizes, you know. So yeah, I've loved this shit my whole life. So
Yes,
You guys
Bob.
keep going. I gotta take a tinkle. I gotta
Get grab some records way there.
Get some
Oh, yeah, I'm
records.
gonna grab one of
Otherwise,
those.
it's going to be sat there.
We'll wait.
yeah, you got time. It's gonna take me 20 minutes to put this.
Choose 5 records. Okay, I'm going to bring the entire Blood Rock discography.
Well, I guess you didn't tell me you had to do them 5, consecutively, not concurrently.
Yes. He hasn't watched the show, has he? He's been busted.
No.
Right? There you go. Should we wait for him? Should we carry on?
Should
Wait
I go
for
next?
Yeah. Let's start, and he'll probably be back by the time we.
All right. Well, I have kind of a twofer, so I can drag it out a little bit.
Me too. But you're
All
next.
right.
But okay, go for it.
All right. I got a couple LPs by a band that I was not familiar with and was introduced to me by our good friend RJ Sweeney.
How's he doing?
And Arpia from Italy. So 2 LPs and they're reissues of previously cassette-only releases from like 87 and 90. And it's really good, really slow, doomy, in the really classic Italian, like doom metal style. So if you like, Paul Chain and Black Hole and that kind of stuff, it's got some kind of proggy moments to it too, but they're pretty long. This one, De Lusioni, the double LP, but it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 7 tracks on 2 LPs. And, some of these songs are like 15 minutes long. But it's pretty cool. Double LP gatefold. This one was on cassette in like 87. And yeah, I'd never heard of this stuff before, and he hit me to it recently. And
is it psychedelic, like the Black Hole stuff?
Yeah, I guess it's a little more kind of almost proggy sounding. So, but it definitely fits in with that whole like Minotauro Records kind of thing. And then the other one, Bianco Zero, this is a 3-songer, but again, it's 3 songs and it's 20 minutes worth of music. But this again was a cassette from I think 1990. Looks like they have quite a few releases, but most of them are either cassette or CD only. So I was pretty, I was psyched to hear this. Definitely new to me, and
it's new to me now too.
Yeah.
Fuck, that Black Hole record is fucking incredible, and a lot of the Paul Chain stuff too is amazing. Like so unique, like that Italian, that 80s.
Yeah, and the Death SS stuff too.
Yeah.
The weird thing was there was a guy in Boston that was like running some like American arm of Minotauro Records in recent years, and he just kind of popped up and was like distributing the stuff around here. So you'd go into like record stores and all, locally, and all of a sudden you'd be like, wow, why do they have like 20 Paul Chain records here? It was just kind of weird to see. And then it all disappeared like almost immediately after that. I don't know what happened to it, but.
Because you've got to think, right, and you just proved it really. It's like if you've got all these bands like Black Hole and Paul Chain, there must be all these like similar bands, right, that are more like...
Right, yeah, that's exactly where this came from,
Fuck. Are these available to the general public?
Yeah, I just bought the. I think the black one is, I think, from like 2021, and the white one is a little more recent. But like, I just bought this one new at Material World in New York like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So they're definitely around, and they're not expensive. I think like the double LP was like $20 or 25, and the other one was like 20 or 18 or something.
Right.
So they're available, and they're not super expensive. So you should be able to find them pretty easily.
Man.
And hey, Cooch, what kind of music is that? You said, what is it?
It's like metal. It's like really doomy sounding. but it's got a little more. Have you ever heard any like of these Italian metal bands from the '80s, like Paul Chain or Death SS?
Death SS, yeah. I've never heard that one though. That's
I
new,
guess
though?
This is new for everyone. Yeah, it's like I've never seen it on before.
I guess Death SS is a little more theatric.
Yeah, they kind of. I'd say like Black Hole and like Paul Chain stuff. It's like very like psychedelic. Okay, this is what it's like to me. It's like it's doom metal meets like those Italian giallo movies.
Yeah, that's a very good. That's a
right.
very,
It's kind of what it sounds like, you know.
Yeah, that's a very adept description of it.
Yeah, like Goblin and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's where with these Arpia records, that's kind of where the prog part of it falls in.
There you go.
So it's like Ian, if you've ever listened to Goblin, like the soundtrack music.
Yeah, I've heard it, yeah.
It's kind of proggy, but like if you mix that with this like really, just slow, like really grinding like doom metal.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
So good. So unique, and like you can't replicate that. It's so unique and of its time period, and it's amazing. Yeah.
And these are kind of surprising to me because even the one is like from the early '90s. It's kind of surprised to hear something that late for still playing music like that.
Man.
Since I wasn't here, what are the name of the bands?
Yeah, it's worth showing again anyway. So
it's called Arpia.
Arpia.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Psychedelic, progressive, prog, doom
metal
from Italy.
Gotcha.
It's just good, heavy stuff.
Yeah. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There you go.
Bring that to the shop. Cooch, play it when I'm there. I gotta hear it.
All right, I will.
Nice.
My turn?
Bob, there you go. You're up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got one. Yeah. I'm super into this lately. Is this top? This is one of my votes for top dollar bin record ever for a power pop record. Because it is literally $1, and I don't think anybody really cares anything about this band. And their second album got like totally butchered. It never really got released properly because of whole 9 yards. But it's the Sorrows, New York. I don't know. Apparently, the guy out there, Alexander, is something. But I mean, if you guys like the Paul Collins beat, I wouldn't say it's more. It's got more like a rockin' sound to it, but still of the time, like new wavy power pop. But I mean, there's not a bad song on it, and I think Teenage Heartbreak was like a minor kind of hit. But yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it at all.
Sorrows.
Yeah, it's cool. Dollar Bin Rager. So that's really it. Just good old fashioned. You even get to look at the Vox, the little Vox like amps and everything. But yeah, their second LP got like super botched by like.
Oh yeah.
The producer, the label, Shall Talmy, like produced it and like literally brought him over to England, and then just had like session musicians come in and record the record. So that's the one. But that's that. Just be like power pop. That's all I got. Check it out. Google it. Oh yeah, actually you have to buy the record because you can't stream that thing anywhere. You have to find a hard copy of it. Yeah. It's better than I'm trying to think. Oh, it's a top 10 power pop record for me.
Wow.
Put it over any 2020, put it over all those bands, Plimsolls, anything like
Shoes.
That. Get that. So yeah, that's it.
Sorrows. Sorrows is the name of the band.
The Sorrows. Yeah, I'll hold it up one more time because I have fun doing that.
It's a super cool cover. I like the logo. Was that death like hovering over the? Hold it up again, Bob.
Death. What are you talking about? Death.
Oh yeah, it looks like a Grim Reaper on the left, but it's a
sword. It's a Grim Reaper, like hovering.
That's what I thought it was.
The requisite like lointy boot, like look at
the skinny ties.
These nonsense, these shoes, look at these stupid things.
I want a pair. What are you talking about? No, but turn it around. Does it look like death like hovering over the?
What are you talking about? What are you drinking over there?
Bud Light.
The thing, the whatever that is like.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, but that's what I thought it was, right? And it looks like the dude's running away.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Black vinyl only.
I'm no longer interested. I'm sorry.
All right, sorry.
Splatter vinyl reissue.
Man, it's funny, like the power pop stuff, it's real hit or miss. But I trust your taste, your word on this one. If it's like,
well, there's so many like that era. Like it's almost like the grunge era where people are just
Yeah.
signing bands like insane. You ever hear that band Off Broadway from like Illinois?
no,
They got one LP. The first one is awesome, and they're like a Cheap Trick rip. And actually,
oh wow,
but there's so many bands like that
right.
they just get signed up and then just thrown away.
It's tempting though. Like you just see them, like, wow, they're only like $1, $2 each. I'll buy
Yeah.
more, and then like one of them was good, and the other 20.
That's right.
Stuck. So
You guys have probably seen that. You ever see that Producers LP? It's like a yellow LP, and it's got like dudes in like neon zoot suits, like sitting on like movie like director chairs. They're from Atlanta. It's just a random thing, but it's worth checking out. It's cool. It's like it's
All right.
synthy kind of wavy, but again, $1, throw it away if you don't like it.
Beautiful. You know what? I changed my order last time after like Chris's last pick, and I'm gonna do it again for my next pick as well, because we're talking about like psychedelic and like proggy doom from Italy. I've got some like psychedelic proggy death doom from your neck of the woods that came out last year.
Oh, that can't be good.
It's great. Could be done by a mate of yours. So let's find out what it is. It came out last year on $20 spin.
That might be all right.
Here we go. Here it is. It's all purple.
I've seen that record.
Yeah. It's Justin DeTour's band, right? One of his bands, one of his many bands.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dream Unending.
Oh, I think they have a record on Relapse too.
They have 2 LPs before this. I think they're on. Are they on $20 spin or Relapse? I can't remember. This is on $20 spin.
I haven't seen that. I have the other ones, but I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, this is like the most recent thing. Came out like at the end of last year. $20 spin. I know, man. I love this. It's like 2 super slow, super long, like death doom songs, but with all this like proggy, like noodling and like shoegazy and psychedelic stuff. That, 2 songs in like 30 minutes. Amazing. And you get
check it out. I didn't know Justin even did a band like that.
It's like
it's DFJ. You said?
Yeah.
What is the band called?
Dream Unending. Dream Unending is the name of the band.
You can't tell by the font on the record. You can't tell what the band name is.
I can't read to begin with. I'm certainly not going to give that a shot.
But the eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed that there's 2 band names on this record. So one is Dream Unending, and the other one is Worm from Florida. Who I like their other records. Their other records are like that kind of cavernous, like death doom, but they've kind of gone like a little bit black metalish on this record, like a lot of like early Emperor stuff, which people like. I'm not so keen on it myself. I like the Dream Unending side like a lot more.
Yeah, because that's another terrible format, split record.
It's a split record, yeah.
Terrible format. Throw it up there with the 10-inch, the picture disc, and everything else.
If only this was like a picture disc 10-inch, you'd be.
No, if a band ever asks you to be on a split record, that means their band stinks, and they want your band. They want a band on it because like, pray to God somebody will listen to us if we're on that record.
It's like hammering the nails.
It's insane. Like, it's
whatever. I know. And when you get a split, you're always going to like one side better than the other, But
actually, that'd be a debate. Like, I'd like to find. I'm trying to think of a split record that's actually like awesome, both sides.
And is the bastard crossed out? Done.
That's a good. There's tons of them actually. I can't think of any now.
Void.
All lies. You lying.
Yeah, Void. Chaos UK ENT.
There you go.
Oh yeah, that one too. All right, so I'm wrong.
There we go.
Easy.
But do you guys know like Phil Swanson as well? He's a local lad too, right? No, Phil Swanson.
I don't think so.
From Sumalands, he was in Sumalands, and now they got the other guy in Sumalands now.
Oh, he was the singer originally, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Brendan sings now, right?
I don't think I ever met him.
I know, man.
Brendan sing for that band now?
Yeah.
Brendan, yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I know, man. It's like space rock, proggy, like death, doom. I love it. I think they're great. Their 2 albums are great too. Check it out.
I've seen that record. I had no idea it was a Boston connection, and obviously DFJ is insane. So I'm gonna check that out.
He, I guess he sings and plays drums. It's a 2-piece band, so it's him.
Right, yeah, it's only the 2 of them.
Yeah, and that's Derek Vella from Tomb Mold, who are kind of one of the like biggest names in like current death metal, probably. I guess.
Yeah, that band's really good too.
They're good. Yeah, Bob.
Man, I bought that.
Somebody said that the Faith Void split is good both sides. Faith stinks. Band stinks. That offends me. I don't even want to entertain that. But go on.
Dream Unending. Check them out if you like. Like I don't know, they're doing something new. It's Justin Tavor. Check it out.
I'm gonna check it out.
I'll definitely check that out.
Give it a go. Give it a go.
Can I cut it in half?
See, man,
you'll be pleased to know that the name of the record is Starpath. So it's got this like galactic, spacey kind of theme going on.
Yeah, the dripping like corpse thing is kind of cool for art, actually.
Yeah,
Jordan's right. You should post that one right there, Mike, on the bottom. Jordan's right. Faith is great.
You can't deny me. That stinks.
Different vibes.
I'm not even different. Yeah, different. Yeah. If that's what you want to, that's how you're going to tell me they're good. Yeah, go for it.
Right, where were we? Oh,
Ian's
turn. Ian's turn.
Okay. My next pick is a band from Tacoma, Washington. I suck at this. Criminal Code.
Good looking record.
This is an EP. Fuck, I suck at this. Cold Thought is the name of the EP. It was on Inimical Records, 2012. It's like a post-punk, I don't know, hardcore, I guess, post-punk record. But these guys are great. I like them a lot. I really, really like their demo that they did. I got the tape. This is back when I used to do my radio show. And at the time, I was like super into checking out anything new because bands were always touring, and I always wanted to try and help them set up a show on the way. And this was one of the bands I came across their demo tape, and I really liked it. It was a 4-song demo tape, really great. I think this was the second record maybe the first record, but the second EP they did, and really good band. Tyga, the singer, was is a good dude. He's in a couple other bands. But they came through. They toured with Big Eyes, that band from, I think they're from Seattle or Portland.
I like that band. They're a good band.
Yeah, like a kind of a pop punk band, right? But really good. They toured with them, and I like both bands. I did a show for them. Great people. I think they eventually did a record on Deranged, but this was the first EP, Cold Thought. My only complaint is that I wish it could have been an LP. I think if they would have, they did re-record one of, actually I don't know if they re-recorded or they just put it on here, but one of the demo tracks is on the LP. But if they would have put all 4 of them, like this thing would have been amazing because such a good band. Yeah, Criminal Code from Tacoma, Washington.
Nice.
I really like these guys, and that's my 4th pick. Is that glossy? Too glossy?
Not crinkly enough.
Not crinkly enough.
Crinkly, I'm sorry.
Hey man, people are throwing booze out over there. You can't. Only I get the boo.
You're a controversial fella. Yes, I was going to say Inimical. That rings a bell.
Yeah. Anyways,
long time.
Criminal Code. I don't know. Yeah, they had several records, but this is one of the early EP. I like the early stuff a lot.
Cool.
Good band.
Man, can you hear that? It's like fucking a bunch of kids having a.
What time is it? What time is it in Japan?
like 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Bloody kids. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, Chris, what's your fourth pick?
Fourth pick is, I thought I had two records, but it's only just one.
All right.
Reissue of the first Bobb Trimble LP from Worcester, Massachusetts, aka Wormtown. This guy made two extremely rare, now extremely expensive self-released LPs around 80, 81. This is a reissue of the first one, and it is called Iron Curtain Innocence, and it's really cool. Like, it's one of the records that was like, big like Acid Archives, like private press kind of stuff. It's one of the touchstones of that scene. But they're just like these really cool, sort of. I don't know if they were recorded in a studio or at home, because they actually do sound pretty good for if they're home recordings. But it's kind of this like ethereal, kind of psyche poppy, like hard to pigeonhole. But it's at certain moments it reminds me of like the softer stuff of like the second Big Star LP.
All right.
But the vocals have this really sort of high, like ethereal sound to them, almost in the vein of like Sparks. So it's pretty cool, like really mellow, sort of folky psych stuff. I don't know how to really describe it accurately, but they're just like really good, sort of like easy listening, like really chill records. Unfortunately, the originals, even though they're local, I've like never seen original copies, and they're like multiple $1,000 records.
It's like the Click 7-inch. Never see it. Doesn't exist.
Yeah, I got it, but
yeah, I know you got it. You jerk. Where'd you get the reissue of that?
I just got these at Armageddon. They're cheap. They're on I think they're on Secretly Canadian.
Oh really? I haven't been on.
And they're really cheap. They're only like $13 or $14 or something.
What's the quality on them? Are they like flimsy? Or?
They sound great.
Really?
And what's interesting with the front cover on this one is the original is black and white, and someone was actually able to track down the original color photograph.
Wow.
But I don't know, it's kind of cool that the dude's holding a Tommy gun. Like I can't imagine like what you would have had to have done to get one of those back in 1980, like in Worcester, Massachusetts. Maybe his uncle was like, Meyer Lansky or something.
Did they do
interestingly, he reformed his group like, I don't know, maybe like 10 years ago. And Bobb, Nick Brannigan was actually playing drums with him.
You serious?
For a while. And I think he released some new material, which I haven't heard, but from all accounts, like the reunions were pretty good.
Huh, go figure. Small world.
But yeah, interesting stuff for, it's one of the few local things that I've never actually come across like real copies of. And it's up there with, these mega rare local things like Lazy Smoke and Rising Storm that, the big dog like Psych Lord collectors have them, but the regular peons like us have to deal with the reissues. So.
Did you say that they reissued? He has two LPs and they reissued both of them?
Yeah, they reissued both at the same time. The other one, I forget the title of the second one. It's got like a little kid with a goat on the cover.
Yeah, interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, they sound pretty similar between the two, but they're both really good. Just kind of mellow, easy listening kind of stuff.
I'm a sucker for local stuff, so having not ever heard it, I'll definitely grab that.
Bobb Trimble. Is that Bobb Trimble.
I think it's Bobb with two B's. Yeah. Bobb Trimble.
What a dink. Now I don't want
The second B has you upset.
Yes, that second B makes me furious.
Like, what does that do? It does nothing.
Beautiful.
Oh, no. Is it my turn?
Yes, Bobb with two B's.
This is something I've been listening to a ton just because I love this band, and it's the Close Lobsters. It's their last LP. What is I don't even remember. Headache Rhetoric. It's their best record. I mean, all their stuff's good, but this thing is, as far as I'm concerned, a jangle pop, masterpiece, front to back.
Nice, man.
So mean, I don't know if I'm assuming everybody knows this band here.
I know the band, the Close Lobsters.
Yeah.
It's funny because I've been dipping into the jangle pop. It was a bit of a thing when I was coming up, right? And I didn't in that band, the Flatmates. They were also a jangle pop band from Bristol, and they never put out a record. They just put out their first LP.
Huh.
So that reminded me when you said like jangle pop, I immediately was thinking of like the Flatmates and like the Shop Assistants and all those bands.
And you know what they all have in common? Along with the Close Lobsters, worst band names ever. It's like, hey, can we just come up with a name for a band that we want to make it big, but that's just nobody's gonna buy our records.
And they all begin with like the Close Lobsters, the Wedding
like
Present, the Shop
terrible
Assistants,
name.
Flatmates.
Shop Assistants, terrible. Close Lobsters takes the cake.
Close Lobsters is the worst one there.
Terrible. Awesome band. Like they don't have there's not a bad song in their discography.
Are they British? They're British, right? Is that right?
I think they're Scottish. Actually,
I knew Scotland would come up again. Somewhere in this episode.
And they're also they need to be listened to on vinyl. The streaming and the Domino reissued all their stuff. Like I think in the 2000s or sometimes. So you can probably get it cheap on CD or something. But if you're a real record collector, a real person, then you'll go and find the actual original Fire Records pressings.
That's funny. When you said Domino, because like Fire, right? They did all the Leatherface stuff, right? That's the guy that
did,
right. Lawrence was his name, I think, was the guy that did Fire Records, and that was funny because it was like that close tie-in between like the melodic UK punk and then like the more like jangle pop stuff. We had a bit of a crossover in England at that time. Yeah,
Fire's been pretty interesting lately. They've been doing all those reissues. The one good thing that they did, and they started doing it for Record Store Day, was when they reissued all the. I don't know if you're a Beavis Franz fan, but they started reissuing all their stuff, and that's a band criminally underrated. Thankfully, somebody reissued it. I say that, but 2 weeks from now, I'll listen to it and I'll be like, "This is boring."
Scotland definitely had a lot of like jangle. Bands, a lot.
They're not even really. They're kind of not even jangle pop either. They're more. They get a little harder edge to them. So it's, I don't know. Like I said, check it out. I mean, people that like Faith probably wouldn't like it because they don't know how to listen to music. So, I can't help you there.
Humans.
All right. Last round. We were talking about this band before the show. Funnily enough, when it was we're talking about t-shirts. Let me digress. When was do you remember the first time you ever heard this band?
Yes.
Remember the
best records ever made. Because best band.
Like I was like super late to this band, and then like when we started talking about them a lot, like on message boards and stuff, right? And people were confused because like people thought that this was their first album, and it was right at the time. This was like their first record, and it's like when it's all right, but it's not amazing. It's a little bit soft, like. But this is like technically the second LP, right?
Sort of. Yeah, they had that. What was it?
Why was the other one not put out?
Because they got kind of dropped, right, by Virgin or whatever. Or I don't know. Yeah. It was considered to be like too like hard edge. I forget the exact story behind it. So this is like when I was. So you talk about the first Professionals record, but I was actually like talking about this one, right? Was the one that we wanted people to like.
Yeah.
I mean, it was confusing. People were like, well, no, I don't really. This is like hang on. This is like okay, but it's why are you saying it like it's a classic?
Yeah,
we were talking about it is a classic, but really we're talking about this one, right? It's the one that we were like.
That was what we were talking about. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
The Withdrawn one was really hard to get, even to listen to. When the first time I heard the other LP was Bobb actually gave me a CD, a Japanese CD that came in a little LP cover.
I think it was cool.
Didn't see it coming. He gave me that like, I don't know, 1999 or something. And then I didn't find out about that other record until later, but there was no way to get it.
Right.
I think it officially just finally get reissued. Like
I don't think it's even had an official vinyl.
It's streaming. They did because
what was it, like a 3 or 4 CD box set?
Yeah.
That has 1 million songs on it.
You know that they put that. Did you ever listen to that new record they put out like a few years ago? It's actually not bad. I hate to even admit it because it's like,
hey, you talking about this one?
Yeah, that's the
Haven't
one.
heard it.
It actually ain't that bad.
It's all right, man. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all right. It's decent. Yeah. But
Yeah.
this is like the one
I
that
wouldn't
people
own it
want to
like
get
you,
and
but I
find.
mean, it's
This is like a Japanese bootleg, apparently. The word on the street is
right.
this is like a Japanese bootleg, right? It sounds great. So I don't know where they got the tapes from, but it sounds amazing. And this cover would look great on a T-shirt if anyone's making any professional
Right.
T-shirts.
Really would.
Yeah, that CD collection has some interesting stuff because it has like songs with Jimmy Percy singing.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I can't remember. Yeah, it's billed as like the Sham Pistols or whatever. I can't
Okay.
remember. And then I think it might have some of the stuff from when they had those songs in the Fabulous Stains movie.
All right.
But it's it's the same like dozen or 15 tracks over and
Different
over and
versions.
over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually not my pick.
Oh,
Yeah.
No,
It's
I've got
probably
like a
another Triple D
professionals adjacent
Relapse
band.
Records.
Professionals adjacent band that I hope everyone will be as excited about as they are.
Oh, I hope
professional.
if it's what I think it is, I'll be very happy. If it's
Hopefully
not,
it's Steve Jones, Fire and Gasoline.
yeah.
Pull it, Ebro.
I
Call
don't
it
think
before you post it.
I don't think they're as good as professionals, but if you like the professionals and kind of want to dig deeper, you want to be checking out like the Lightning Raiders, right?
Oh yeah, that's a cool band.
Oh yeah, you know,
Yeah, I
I'm
was
kidding.
45
Jeez, I
by
haven't thought of them in ages. Holy smokes!
I don't know why. It was just I just saw it out of the corner of my eye the other day, and I was like, man, I have listened to this for ages, and
It's like safety pink color. Look at that.
yeah, it's beautiful, man. This is
Terrible
like
album. I forgot how terrible that record cover looks.
wow. The funny thing, this is like the 7-inch, right?
Yeah.
This is the 7-inch. This is
Right.
like the third 7-inch, and then this is like the Island Records like Dutch, like hard rock on 12-inch series. And there's Motorhead, there's Girls.
Yeah, I have
School,
a Motorhead one with the
Right.
orange cover.
Yeah.
And I've got there's a Girls School one. Uriah Heep, the Rods have one. They did them all in like 1981. It's like it's about 8 of them. But this is one of those. It's weird because it's like the Lightning Word is like sort of like a little bit pub rock, a little bit power pop, a little bit punk with a little bit of like hard rock in there. And they're really like pushing like the hard rock side of this band for this record. You know, it's like hard rock band Lightning Raiders, new LP out soon on Lightning on Island Records, which never came out. Right, the LP never came out either. Like the Professionals LP never came out. But yeah, good band. Like 3 7-inch singles, I think that's all they have. But what's the Professionals connection? Anybody know?
No, they don't know. If you're gonna, it's got to be a guy in the band that I don't know the name of.
Yeah, it's like the bass player of this band like played on Silly Thing. And so they got Jones and Cook as a favor to play on the Lightning Raiders like first 7-inch. So Steve Jones and Paul Cook play like on the first like Lightning Raiders.
Oh, that's kind
7-inch.
That's a deep cut. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. You know, it's like that Professionals like family tree kind of thing. But good stuff.
I'm staring
Mike,
at
have
that
you
thing.
heard that Steve Jones Fire and Gasoline LP? I think that record's awesome.
Hang on, that one's good, right? I got the other one, which is terrible.
The one with the white cover with him is really bad, but the one it's like a manhole cover.
Yeah.
Actually, the one with the white cover has one killer. It's Steven Seagal level. It's got one awesome track on it.
No Mercy or something it's called, right? So yeah, Lightning Raiders is like a real interesting little like footnote in that whole.
Yeah, but that Fire and Gasoline LP is just really good, kind of like Van Halen minus the guitar pyrotechnics.
Oh wow!
Minus the only part that's good about Van Halen.
Van Halen. That's another band that's a stinkeroo. Van Halen. They got one good song.
Favorite band of all time.
Unchained. One song, Unchained. That's it. Sorry, get a couple beers in me. I just say nobody cares about my opinion.
He's Unchained.
Come on, give me an SSD record, baby.
All right, Ian. Last pick. What's your last pick of the day?
My last pick. Sorry to disappoint
Prepare
Bob.
the underwhelmed. Sorry.
Is that Creek's Hog?
The hell is that?
Bloody hell! Didn't see that one coming.
I never heard that band.
Are you serious?
Never heard them.
Redeem
Yeah, I
yourself.
just heard Carcass for the first time this year, so you know
No, this is a Creek Hog, the LP. It's this band is, Yeah, you should definitely check them out, Bob. I mean, even you might like them. That fantastic hardcore band.
What does that mean? Sure.
Fantastic hardcore band. This LP came out in 2010. But you know, I've been kind of revisiting. This is about the time when like I started doing my radio show. I actually stole the name from the first 7-inch, Hardcore Hell.
I knew that sounded familiar. There you go.
Yeah, that's
So
what I thought.
unoriginal.
Yeah, right. Everything's a bootleg. I took the name from the 7-inch, but this band is great. I heard them in the like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I suddenly was like super fucking excited about hardcore again. They were so fantastic. I got to see them at Chaos and Tejas, and they were just they're insane. The funny story, when I saw them, I was so excited to see them. I took my wife. All my friends from Bakersfield stink, and they all bailed on me at the last second to go to the show. So I dragged my wife there. She could give a fuck about punk or anything, but she's a sport, so she went with me. We saw them play, and funny story, I was so excited to see them when we saw them, and I was like, what do you think? What do you think? And she's like, the singer's good looking. And it was like not the reaction that I fucking
he is though. He is.
But it was hilarious. I was like, yeah, he's a handsome guy. You're not wrong, you know. But just a great fucking hardcore band. Just really, really. Obviously, they're from Japan. You don't know.
Yeah, the covers are. I like the cover. I'm a sucker for that stuff. It looks kind of like a Crow LP or Clothes or
Yeah.
That's the back.
What label's that on?
It's on La Vida Es un Moose.
I was almost going to guess that.
Didn't Timmy put out a 7-inch by them? No,
maybe.
You would know.
Timmy?
No.
It sounds familiar, but
they had a split with an American band, but I forget who the other band was.
Me too.
Of course you did. You know why? Bet you that band stunk. That's why.
We don't remember who they were, so. But
they were.
I'm sure you've seen them before, Mike. Right?
A whole bunch of times. Yeah, they are kind of part of that like second wave, I suppose you'd call, of like super blown out, like crust. But like I use that term very loosely. Like friends with Frampted, a little bit younger than Frampted. Played with Frampted a lot.
They were insane though. Like the just everything about them was fucking great. I loved it, and it just, I don't know what it was. It was just like that got me super pumped. And it was like right at the time when I call it the chaos days, when like Chaos and Tails was doing all these insane. You go there, like every fucking show was insane. Every band was great, but Creekshaw was like was one of the bands that like I mean it was the first year I went was for them. I think that's the year Lothar Profile was supposed to play. Too, that bailed. I think Larm was supposed to play, and then I think the drummer had some hearing problem. But anyways, it was like I skipped the year before when Bastard played because my friends bailed. Losers. The next year I was like, fuck you guys, I'm going without you. Dragged my wife, and I'm so glad I did because I went every year after that until it ended. But this is like what really got me like fucking into it again. 2010, I don't know. This was this record's fucking smoked. If you don't
just think, if you never heard that record, I probably would have never met you.
You wouldn't have. I'm sure.
Oh, okay. You met at Chaos in Texas, right?
No, we met.
I met him
out here. I picked his bozo up at the airport, and we've been friends ever since.
Yeah, I don't know why, but no, it's it was rejuvenating. It's such a great fucking LP. If you don't have, it's not even expensive. They reissued it. In fact, I think that's the reissue that La Vida Es un Moose did. I think the first one I had was a gatefold. This one's just like a fucking regular LP, but it's great. If you haven't heard it, Bob, you got to listen to it.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm in like a hardcore revival. All of a sudden, I'm in all this like I stopped listening to like CTI, like elevated jazz. I'm back into like listening to like hard music again. I end up back listening to Blood for Blood or something within a week.
Before I moved out here to Boston, I sold my record collection. I went through that whole bullshit. Immediate regrets, and now I'm like starting to pick up bits and pieces of stuff that was attainable at the time and still kind of is, but
Well,
really fired me up, and that's definitely one of them right there.
Since you're buying stuff back, if I may suggest maybe a Sam Black Church, Tree, Stomp Box here or there, maybe throw that in.
No.
You at least have to buy the Sam Black Church purple record.
Yeah.
I need SSD on red if anyone has a copy.
You and the man. That's a botched reissue if there ever was one. The guy, I mean, God, name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I mean, he's in tough shape, but should have reissued that thing like 20 years ago. What are you gonna do? Nobody cares what I think, but just whatever. Keep going. Let's go. What do you got next? You gonna break something? What country are you gonna break something out from now that nobody knows?
All right, Chris, what's your last pick of the day?
All right,
wait, I got another question. Hold on.
Yes, Bob.
Go ahead.
What the hell's behind you? Is that like encyclopedias or something? Things back there.
Oh, we get like high quality people watching this show.
Do you? I don't know. I'm looking at the list over here. I don't know.
Knowledgeable people.
Go ahead.
Experts.
Sorry to interrupt you, Cooch.
Go ahead. All right, Chris, what's your...
All right, last one, another reissue. This band, Dexkoncierto. This is from Colombia. As you can see, demos 89 to 90. I actually did not know this stuff existed. I had only heard this band on... There's a compilation LP from Medellin, Colombia called La Ciudad Podrida. And it's Colombian bands of the late 80s, early 90s. And this band's songs on that comp are absolutely just like the most ferocious, raw, insane hardcore like I've ever heard. And at one point, my friend was trying to reissue the comp tracks as a 7-inch because we didn't know they had more material. And that was like 12 plus years ago. And then all of a sudden, recently, this thing popped up out of nowhere. And I was just like, holy shit. And so this has like 3 demos on it, I think.
Wow.
It's got like 40 tracks on it, tons and tons of songs. It's just like really simple, 1 or 2 riff, like just really nasty, like abrasive, super raw recording. But, it's one of those, it's definitely like a product of their environment kind of record that people would try to make now and like really try hard to make this record. But this thing was just like, they made it because they had to.
Honest. That's not like the sound. They weren't trying to get that sound, right? That's just the sound that they...
Right, yeah.
Came out.
Whatever was available to them at the time in Colombia in 1990. So, but it was actually like a really funny story with the compilation songs. So it was Rob who does the DKR, like the reggae label, and he wanted to put it out years ago. And we went to see this other Colombian band. They played in Boston called IRA or IRA.
Good band, more melodic band, right? But good band.
Yeah, more like kind of like pogo punky sounding.
Yeah.
When we saw him, anyway. But one of the guys in the band, I think, had some connection to this band, and so we were like, "How do we get in touch with them?" And he was like, "Oh, well, I'm friends with them. You can just put it out." And we're like, "Okay, do we need to talk to anybody?" And he's like, "No, just put it out. It's cool." So we actually had it all ready to go. It was like mastered, and we had a cover for it and everything. And Rob just kind of, he had to move back to New Jersey and kind of lost interest in punk stuff at the time. But would have been a cool release, but this thing definitely makes up for it because it's got like 1 million extra tracks on it.
Cooch, you know anybody that's ever been to like Medellin and like found anything like that in the wild down there? Because I mean, haven't been there, like, and I never really explored, but the little bit I did, like, it's almost impossible to find anything like that in the wild.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would imagine like with a lot of these places, and it goes back to like with the first LP that I had, the Cumbia comp is like, I think years ago, and this is the same with like, reggae records in Jamaica, is like people from Japan and England and France are just like, it's like scorched earth. They just go through and they grab everything they can. And that was 20 plus years ago. And I think now it's just like, forget it.
I remember one of the first times we went down there. I mean, Liz and her family took me downtown, and we went to like a mall, and that band, Fertile Miseria, like the woman that sings for that band has a store. It was kind of cool, but like even there, like like what they have to buy, like it was insane.
Bob, I was I showed a record by that band about a month ago on this show.
Did you really?
Found it. It's a great band.
They got a lot of stuff, I think. Like a very voluminous discography.
Very good band. Like a little bit more not commercial sounding, but a little bit not pop punk, but a little bit more commercial sounding. But great band. No, ferocious vocalist, ferocious singer, vocalist. That's
very nice,
right? Who has the store, right? That's the same.
Yeah. She has the store. Yeah, it's in like a mall. And also in that mall, if I may just tell a quick story, is there's a guy that had all these metal records, and I'll always remember it because he had a bunch of fish tanks, but where he kept the records was up on the wall, and they were all pinned to the wall, all four corners with push pins. You could buy the records, but they literally were pushed into the wall. Like, so you're buying a record, push pin holes in all four corners.
Wow.
VG Plus.
Near mint.
American mint.
Not for the anal retentive.
That's amazing. I didn't know you'd been to Colombia, Bob.
Yeah, my wife, her family's her family still lives in Medellin. We go. I unfortunately haven't been in a while, but we used to go pretty regularly. I highly recommend visiting there to anybody. It's fantastic.
Old Colombian punk is fucking. It's like, man.
I've been bummed because I've gone and explored. Can't even find like a salsa record. I can't even find any of that, and it all looks like it's skidded out. It looks like Brian Logan, like great, like VG plus dealed out.
That's Mike. That's a joke only Bob and I would understand.
Yeah, it's a total
I'm laughing.
joke.
Just
Total inside joke. Yeah. That's it. This is the last one. My turn.
Yeah.
So I can't all.
Last pick of the day.
By the way, Cooch, you have like 75,000 records, and you pull out like reissues. Killing me. I was hoping you'd break some stuff out of the archives.
It's just some stuff I bought recently.
Yeah, it's that's what's good about the show.
We don't get to see that shit.
I'm just being an idiot. You not figured that out yet? I'm just going, but I listen to this all the time.
Oh, so. Oblivions?
And no. Only ones.
The only ones, yes.
The way I file records by not alphabetically, which people say that it's not good, but I file them by like my favorite bands, and they're like right in the top three. This is possibly everybody already. If you don't know this band and you're watching this live stream, then
I know that
you're probably like Faith. So what can I do? But that's probably one of the greatest. That's one of the greatest bands ever. All the first two LPs, the third LP they're obviously just too junked out, but still good in its own way. But I mean, Another Girl on Another Planet's one of the greatest songs ever written. So that's what I've been listening to. There you go.
I Blink-182 covers that song, Bob.
What's that? Who covers it?
Blink-182 even covers that.
No, they don't. You didn't just tell me that. Oh,
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it for him.
Yeah, he knew.
Hang on, Bob.
No, I didn't know.
I'm an Only Ones fan. I've not seen that particular sleeve variant.
Oh, well.
Okay. Not the British version.
You're not a real fan because that's an original UK president.
What is the name? What is that? Is that the first LP?
That's the first LP, yeah.
Oh, then I have the American one. Then
you get the special.
No, there's no American press of the first one.
Special
view. It's a.
Oh, that's like
the first two LPs.
That's it. It's one of those ones, right? It's like a mashup of like.
Yeah, it's a mashup. Yeah, like
I'm not a. God,
that to me, that band is the ultimate. They're even more like the Heartbreakers were. They're better things, but I always loved. You must know the story with the band. Like the drummer bankrolled them because he was a drug dealer. So the drummer bankrolled everything. It's kind of a cool story because they're like skids, but that guy wrote some good songs.
Yeah, amazing. Have you got the Pill
It's
sessions?
Not Faith, but what are you gonna do?
Have you got the Pill sessions?
No, I don't have the Pill sessions.
That's one I showed a few weeks ago. It was kind of hard to find, but it's amazing. Yeah, and it's like 3 or 4 different sessions, like late.
I gotta check. I'm embarrassed that I haven't heard it being such a fan.
I hadn't until like about a couple of months ago.
Yeah. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, it's got a light blue cover. It's like
that. That'd be a great show. Just Peel sessions.
We've been doing a lot lately. People
have Chameleons Peel sessions is one of the best. That's a great Peel session.
It is, man.
Well, this was going to be one of my picks, but I didn't get to it. But Dolly Mixture BBC record.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've got the other one. Like, what's the other one that came out? That's not that one. The Dolly Mixture one. It's like the one with the white cover, but it's not the Peel Sessions. It's like the
Demonstration
demos. It's the demos, right? Yeah.
Well, that's like their actual album from back in the day.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that BBC session sounds incredible.
I don't even think is there a bad, like, honestly, is there a bad, I mean, you may not like the band or the music, but is there a bad Peel sessions or a BBC sessions? I've never heard anything recorded bad out of there. Whoever, guys, unbelievable. Prong Peel sessions, Tommy Victor, baby.
You guys like that?
Come full circle. There you go.
The England's Glory LP.
Is that you in there just typing it under a fake name, Mike?
No, Andrew's the best, man. Andrew's the best. Hold that one up again, Cooch. Did that just come out?
Yep. Start again. Yeah, it's the BBC sessions, right?
Yeah, this
one. I've seen
Armageddon has it. I just got it like 2 weeks ago.
As I say, I've seen that record everywhere recently.
All right.
Hey, thanks again. I just want to thanks again, Mike, for having me on, because I invited myself and I appreciate it very much.
Yeah. I would have invited you anyway at some point.
No, I really appreciate it, because I got all jealous of all the grab ass with everybody. I'm like, man, all these people, man, they get terrible taste.
Still jealous.
You got to get somebody on here to get some taste.
The Faith session. Yes.
All right, that was a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun. I had another one. It's the girls' school hard rock.
Oh, another one of those
hard rock records, because Bob complained that I didn't have any Bonzers out here. Here's a test press of the first Bathory LP.
All right, you don't need to settle down over there.
Like leather.
We don't really. We're more about like the sorrows.
They're easily accessible.
Like, this show is more about like the sorrows than like the fix, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, what do you listen to? You know, what have you bought from the? What do you listen to? It's simple. It's an easy topic.
That hard rock thing you just showed with like the same cover as the Lightning.
Because it's in the same series. So.
Such terrible budget line like covers. I like the hard rock is like cool, but it's like, can you literally?
There you go. Hey,
that one looks all right.
There you go.
Yeah,
that one's cool.
Because it's Mourning.
Orange and red.
Hey, before you go, what's that record behind your head? Is that a Slade record up on the very top? Behind you, up on the
guys with the white suits.
Oh, that's Mud. That's Mud. Mud, man. Mud.
Don't know what it is.
It's the first band I ever saw live. I talked about them a couple of weeks ago. Tiger Feet. Check out the song Tiger Feet by Mud. Some good time, mid-70s British glam rock.
I'm in.
You're in. You'll love it, man. There you go. That's right. Rachel. It's one of Rachel's favorite songs. I think it's Tiger Feet by Mud. There you go. All right, let's finish it up. I've got to announce next week's show. Jordan, he's been in the comment. Jordan Atkins is coming on next week. Yay. Brian Welch, Matthias Weeks. I forgot what those guys do. Can you help me out with that, Ian?
Oh, I know Brian's in like
Smoke.
Oh, he's in Lost Legion now. He's in all kinds of bands, right?
Yeah, he is. He's Consensus Madness. Right? Was Sarah now?
Wasn't Sarah just on?
Yeah. Consensus Madness. Jordan, the man, the myth.
Very Chicago centric.
Resident Records. Yeah, Chicago.
That's it. Next week is another Chicago special. There you go. People in Chicago, it's early for them, right? They're like an hour earlier, so.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Mike. I want to do a hip hop episode. You got to get me on with Ebro. We'll go back and forth. That's my guy right there.
All right.
You got to come to the store and see all the rap tapes we got.
I fucking hate tapes. Give me the vinyl, man. But I will check it out. I'll check it out.
Rap's meant to be listened to on CD.
No, get out of here, Bob. You don't.
It is, man. I'm telling you. It's like
on that bombshell.
CD only.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Everyone's saying it's a great episode. It was a great episode, right? It's always a great episode.
Hey, thanks for having me again, Mike.
We'll stay on for a little bit after I press stop. We'll stick around for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Shoot the shit a little bit. Until next time, stay healthy and stay